to show you how the vehicle regens when we approach on a downhill. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, my name is Henny Lawrence and I would like to introduce you to our company called EPVA. It's a company established in South Africa, and our main focus is to convert any combustible vehicle into a fully electrical vehicle. About a month ago, this vehicle came into us for a full restoration, and the client requested us to convert this vehicle from a combustion engine up into a fully electrical vehicle. So just to give you a little bit of a background, what we do on this vehicle, we totally strip it down up to the chassis, and from there on we start the transformation of this vehicle into a fully electrical vehicle. So currently what you can see in the front here, there is no components that we use from the combustible engine. Everything from the gearbox to the front gets fully stripped out. The only thing that remains originally from this vehicle, mechanical wise, is the gearbox that we use. So this is our components tray that we've got here in the front here, and this is where we regulate all our systems from here. What we are running on this vehicle is a 110 volt system. At the back we've got 10 Tesla batteries that is combined into this system, where it can also regenerate power back into the battery system once approaching a downhill. Also, what we have here with the battery system, we've got special cooling that we use to prolong the lifespan, and also for the best economy that we can get out of these batteries, and therefore we use MEG 96 cooling, and that keeps our batteries to a temperature below 25 degrees, which makes it very efficient for the current system that we are running now. The motor that we have installed in this vehicle is a 3-phase 90 kilowatt motor, and it produces about 200 Newton meters of torque, which is from the get-go. What we've got here also as well, as you can see, is that we've got a DC to DC converter here. This is our main box where we have all our fuses connected to the motor controller, and up in that corner you can see that's where all our components tray is, where we have all our fuses and so on for safety devices. In front here is our cooling tank, where our cooling is situated, and that gets transported through the system by means of 2 cooling pumps, one for the motor to keep the motor cool, and as well one for the batteries to keep the batteries cold at the back. Other than that, this vehicle was designed to be a game viewer according to the client's specifications and requirements that he needed. So this vehicle will be used as a game viewer, and we're also trying to move to a green zone, and that is why we implemented this, and this is the way forward. We're going to take this vehicle out for commissioning now. We're going to put it to the test and see how well it comes together and how well we can compare it to a combustion engine, which I believe this is definitely going to exceed our expectations. So we will revert back to you shortly with some of our shots that we have taken and where you can actually see this vehicle in action. Here we've got one of our first Toyota Land Cruisers that we converted also into an electric vehicle, and this is a Land Rover. As you can see here, the clutch works normally. When we are in low revs of this vehicle, you can actually shift your gears without using the clutch. And something that's very phenomenal with this vehicle, as you can see, when you get to a stop street and you don't use your clutch, the vehicle will not stall. It's in second gear now, as you can see here. Without clutch control, we can just pull off with the vehicle without having any issues. We are currently in third gear, doing about almost 60 kilometers an hour. Our battery still looks fine. The feedback that I get from my motor controller, everything seems to be fine. My water pumps are working perfectly. I can see that the cooling on my batteries is below 25 degrees now. So everything seems to be running smooth on it. Put it to the test to see how quick our acceleration in this vehicle is. In case of an emergency, when someone comes into action with maybe an elephant in the wild, and this is our response time and reaction, what you can see on this vehicle. What I'm going to test here is now to show you how the vehicle regens when we approach on a downhill. You just leave the accelerator pedal, and as the motor is regenning, it will feed back into the batteries, and by that means it will also slowly charge your batteries when approaching on a downhill or approaching to a stop sign. Okay, now we are in 4th gear now. Say for instance you forgot to change your gears. With clutch control your vehicle will not stall because it's an electric vehicle. Here you can see in 4th gear we can do a pull off here. Obviously it's slower, but with the instant torque that we've got, we do have our pull away here in 4th gear.
And back at the shop.
Mission successful. No current issues that we can see. Our onboard charger is working. The battery's feedback that we get, as well as the temperature of the battery and the motor, doesn't seem to be having any problems with it. So I'm quite happy with the first commissioning that we did. We'll just follow up on some final checks on it, but I don't think there's anything major we have to be looking out for. This vehicle is perfect and almost ready to go.